My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Alright, I'm in the middle of editing whatever I recorded this morning. So it's 7:37 a.m. So I saw this popping up on my screen. I once said that the big beasts of the tabloid jungle have no predators. I was wrong. They have Prince Harry. Lord Watson speaks outside court after a successful settlement against the Sun publisher. Okay, so let's listen to this. I'm seeing it right now. This is probably gonna go before the other videos that I'm editing right now, which I recorded since, I don't know, in the middle of the night. Let's listen.
I once said that the big beasts of the tabloid jungle have no predators. I was wrong. They have Prince Harry. His bravery and astonishing courage have brought accountability to a part of the media world that thought it was untouchable. I am sure I speak on behalf of the thousands of victims when I say we are grateful to him for his unwavering support and his determination under extraordinary pressure. If Rupert Murdoch had any decency, he should follow this corporate admission of guilt with a personal apology to Prince Harry, to his father our king, and to the countless others who suffered the same unlawful behaviour at the hands of his media empire. News Group Newspapers owes so many such apologies. Thousands of ordinary people just trying to live their lives have endured the same unlawful behaviour.
Oh my goodness, he settles. Let's see here. And now commence the rehabilitation of Harry.
I once said that...
These are the comments. And now commence the rehabilitation of Harry and family reconciliation. Just watch. All right, they tag all of these people here. Whereas innocent politician had you and pedophile Nick as their predators. F off Watson, you deserve everything you got. They are all in bed together. So funny. People eat this up. More Jewish life. Okay, I don't know anything about this. I want to focus on the settlement. Glad there was an apology as well as settlement, which I hope include their costs. Has there been any successful settlement against Tom Watson for the lives ruined, lies he maliciously spread? No, but as always with Sky, you deal with partial truth, or in other words, you are client hacks. Okay, so there's more. I'm waiting for Byline to discuss that in more detail, and probably NPR to see more what's going on, which I've recorded this morning about yesterday's news, but I'm gonna put this out first before all the other things that I recorded. Let me pause and see if there's anything else I could include in this video. Alright, so Prince Harry is trending right now, so I went on the trend and see what's going on here. Prince Harry is currently in the spotlight due to his ongoing legal battle with Rupert Murdoch's tabloid newspapers, which has reacted a critical point with settlement negotiation and court proceedings. Prince Harry's lawsuit against the Sun's publisher, News Group Newspapers, for alleged unlawful information gathering began its trial, with settlement negotiation reported to be close, potentially affecting the outcome of the case. Recent posts on X indicate a mix of support and criticism for Harry. I mean, the bats will come out in full force for everything, with some users questioning his motives and others praising his stand against media misconduct. The legal action has been highlighted by various news outlets, with discussion on the implication for media accountability and Harry's personal reputation. Okay, so this is what I saw, and all right, Let me pause. I need to view them each individually. Okay, Prince Harry's barrister, David Sherborne, gives a statement following the Sun newspaper admitting wrongdoing and illegal activities against him between 1996 and 2000 through 2011. The Sun gave an apology and substantial 8-figure settlement. 8 figures. Okay. Oh, no. Let's listen.
In court and at the Leviston Public Inquiry. At her trial in 2014, Rebecca Brooks said, "When I was editor of The Sun, we ran a clean ship." Now, 10 years later, when she is CEO of the company, they now admit when she was editor of The Sun, they ran a criminal enterprise. Far from being relics of a distant past, many of those behind these unlawful practices remain firmly entrenched in senior positions today, both within News UK and other media outlets across the world, wielding editorial power and perpetuating the toxic culture in which they continue to thrive. It's perhaps no surprise that all of their senior executives and editors refused to turn up to court to give evidence. The failure of each of these key individuals to come and answer questions under oath spoke volumes in itself, but their collective silence is deafening. Today's result has been achieved only through the sheer resilience of Prince Harry and Tom Watson, whose willingness to take News Group newspapers to trial has led directly to this historic admission of unlawfulness at the Sun. It has only been by taking News Group not just to the steps of court, but inside the courtroom itself, that these claimants have finally managed to extract this historic admission of guilt. As a direct result of him taking a stand, Prince Harry and his immediate family have also had to repeatedly withstand aggressive and vengeful coverage since starting his claim over 5 years ago.
William should be ashamed of himself, especially when he stood in front of national television about the interview, the panoramic interview, the nonsense that he said.
I would like to thank Lord Dyson and his team for the report. It is welcome that the BBC accepts Lord Dyson's findings in full, which are extremely concerning. That BBC employees lied and used fake documents to obtain the interview with my mother, made lurid and false claims about the royal family, which played on her fears and fueled paranoia, displayed woeful incompetence when investigating complaints and concerns about the programme, and were evasive in their reporting to the media and covered up what they knew from their internal investigation. It is my view that the deceitful way the interview was obtained substantially influenced what my mother said. The interview was a major contribution to making my parents' relationship worse and has since hurt countless others. It brings indescribable sadness to know that the BBC's failures contributed significantly to her fear, paranoia, and isolation that I remember from those final years with her. But what saddens me most is that if the BBC had properly investigated the complaints and concerns first raised in 1995, my mother would have known that she had been deceived. She was failed not just by a rogue reporter, but by leaders at the BBC who looked the other way rather than asking the tough questions. It is my firm view that this Panorama programme holds no legitimacy and should never be aired again. It effectively established a false narrative which for over a quarter of a century has been commercialised by the BBC and others. This settled narrative now needs to be addressed by the BBC and anyone else who has written or intends to write about these events. In an era of fake news, public service broadcasting and a free press have never been more important. These failings, identified by investigative journalists, not only let my mother down and my family down, they let the public down too.
And I think that also fueled Harry to make sure the papers apologize. Now, Harry risks a lot to this point. I hope the people in the UK demand a second inquiry to be going on, because if they admit they did unlawful gathering information, they admit the fault. So now the ball is moved forward to the people. If the people don't ask for the inquiry, demand the inquiry, I mean, it's gonna continue in a different form. Like I've said in this morning recording, which you guys will see after I edit this one, because I want to put this out today, is that they're shifting their tactic to the US. Whatever is going on in the UK or had been going on, it's going to shift to the US. So let's continue.
News UK have admitted that The Sun, the flagship title for Rupert Murdoch's UK media empire, has indeed engaged in illegal practices. This represents a vindication for the hundreds of other claimants who were strong-armed into settling without being able to get to the truth of what was done to them. After endless resistance, denials, and legal battles by newsgroup newspapers, including spending more than £1 billion in payouts
My goodness.
and in legal costs, as well as paying off those in the know in order to prevent the full picture from coming out, News UK is finally held to account for its illegal actions and its blatant disregard for the law. It has also specifically admitted wrongdoing against Tom Watson and admitted unlawful acts by The Sun, as well as by the News of the World against Prince Harry. The truth that has now been exposed is that newsgroup newspapers unlawfully engaged more than 100 private investigators over at least 16 years on more than 35,000 occasions.
Wow.
This happened as much at The Sun as it did at the News of the World, with the knowledge of all the editors and executives going to the very top of the company. What's even worse is that in the wake of the 2006 arrest of a royal correspondent, there was an extensive conspiracy to cover up what had really been going on and who knew about it. Senior executives deliberately obstructed justice by deleting over 30 million emails.
My goodness.
Destroying backup tapes.
Oops. Let's listen.
His family. The rule of law must now run its full course.
That's right.
Prince Harry and Tom Watson join others in calling for the police and Parliament to investigate not only the unlawful activity now finally admitted, but the perjury
That's
and
right.
cover-ups along the way. It is clear now that this has occurred throughout this process, including through sworn evidence in inquiries and court hearings, in testimony to Parliament, and until today's final collapse of Newsgroup's defence. Today, the lies are laid bare. Today, the cover-ups are exposed, and today proves that no one stands above the law. The time for accountability has arrived.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Of a purity of him,
Oops.
ongoing.
Okay, this is exactly what I thought. Now, Harry hand the ball to the people of the UK. It's up to the people to demand it. And then the worst thing is, because Murdoch know he has these people at his fingertip, I don't know. There needs to be something. I mean, the people of the UK better thank Harry and that other person, Tom Watson, for this. Let's see here. NGN apology to the claimants. NGN offers a full and unequivocal apology to the Duke of Sussex for the serious intrusion by the Sun between 1996 and 2011 into his private life, including incidents of unlawful activities carried out by private investigators working for the Sun.
This is half my official role, but half my private role. This is what I enjoy doing, but the private life has to be private, and I hope people respect that.
NGN also offer a full and unequivocal apology to the Duke of Sussex for the phone hacking, surveillance, and misuse of private information by journalists and private investigators instructed by them at the News of the World. NGN further apologizes to the Duke for the impact on him of the extensive coverage and serious intrusion into his private life, as well as the private life of Diana, Princess of Wales. Oh my God, my blood just, a shiver just went down my spine. Oh my God. The other brother should be ashamed of himself. Should be ashamed of himself.
I would like to thank Lord Dyson and his team for the report. It is welcome that the BBC accepts Lord Dyson's findings in full, which are extremely concerning. That BBC employees lied and used fake documents to obtain the interview with my mother, made lurid and false claims about the royal family, which played on her fears and fueled paranoia.
Wow. Diana, Princess of Wales, his late mother, in particular during his younger years. We acknowledge and apologize for the distress caused to the Duke and the damage inflicted on relationship, friendships, and family, and have agreed to pay him substantial damages. It is also acknowledged without any admission of illegality, and NGN's response to the 2006 arrest and subsequent action were regrettable. NGN also offers a full and unequivocal apology to Lord Watson for the unwarranted intrusion carried out into his private life during his time in government by the News of the World during the period 2009 through 2011. You know, as I'm reading this, one of the things that I think happened here, Harry just spare his family of things that could have come out. Now, anything that happened from this point on, let's say when they due to the perjury that they have done during the Levison inquiry, the first one, well, there's no second one yet, okay? So it depends on what the journalist like Piers Morgan will say, because he have said before that he have got some call from the royal family, senior royal family.
You heard from anyone in the palace thanking you for the, serious defense of them?
I've had some messages communicated to me on behalf of several members of the royal family.
Upper level
We're very
people?
grateful that. Well, I'm not going to go into who it was, but what I would say is gratitude that somebody was standing up for them.
Okay, he did say that at one, with something Bush in the US. He was having a interview. Admission. And also when Harry and Meghan were doing the interview with Oprah, where they said that they were trying to protect the family.
So in conclusion, if you'd had the support, you'd still be there?
Without question.
Yeah.
I'm sad that what's happened has happened. But I know, and I'm comfortable knowing that we did everything that we could to make it work, and we did everything on the exit process the way that it should have been
with
done.
as much respect.
With as much
and,
respect.
Oh my God, we just did everything we could to protect them.
This is another step. We need to highlight these things because the derangers are gonna come and say it's Harry who said. Okay, so the thing then go to trial, and Harry spare his family from being implicated in this. I'm pretty sure he knows they are, but he took it far enough to let them know, the papers, Murdoch, that he's very serious about this. And then that it wasn't him who actually outed his family. Okay, so we need to highlight this part as well. If anything come out later, let's say there's a investigation or another inquiry, and then the royal family name comes out, or secretaries, because they always push the secretaries in front. Lord, one of the squad mentioned some names. In tomorrow's video, when I do it again in the middle of the night, in the morning, I will highlight some other things as well. But we just need to, I need to point out that it's not Harry that implicate his family into whatever phone hacking or any information back and forth or whatever. Okay, so it's almost like when they're saying that it's Harry who wanted to be out as a working warrior, but when we get in court, we find out it's the brother who pushed him out. It's something like this that's happening here. But we'll see in the future if there is an investigation or another inquiry where the family get involved and things like that. Harry has nothing to do with it. Okay, because he settled and nothing was dispute in court besides the settlement and other things. Okay, so I just wanted to point this out. Oh my God, this includes him being placed under surveillance in 2009 by journalists at the News of the World and those instructed by them. And the other thing as well, with what I just said, this is what happened when you doing unethical things for other people. Now, Rupert Murdoch just pay himself out of, whatever trouble he would have been. Now, the others, the journalists who were doing the things, now, if they do an investigation, another inquiry about them, which I read in this morning video, you're going to see later on, due to perjury, I think there's 7 years in prison and or some fine. So now, Rupert Murdoch just relieved himself from being in that debacle, and they admit there was wrongdoing. Now, if there is another investigation with the others, they're on their own. This is what happened. Young people need to pay attention to this. They need to pay attention to this. Don't do unethical things for rich people because they could buy themselves out of jail. Do you have the money to get yourself out of jail or something? Oh my God. Look what's happening in the US. But anyway, let's continue. NGN also acknowledges and apologizes for the adverse impact this had on Lord Watson's family and has agreed to pay him substantial damages. In addition, in 2011, News International received information that information was being passed covertly to Lord Watson from within News International. We now understand that this information was false and Lord Watson was not in receipt of any such confidential information. NGN apologizes fully and unequivocally for this. So they're trying to frame him. They're trying to frame him, send him information as if to make this is the nonsense that the other guy was trying to implicate Judge Watson. They create a narrative to frame him. To frame him. That's what it was. They were trying to frame him, pretending there's secret information that's happening. Meanwhile, he had no clue. I mean, America better pay attention to this. I mean, now it's sort of over, but the tactic, the manipulation, the unnecessary noise to create a drama, this is crazy. And the other brother should be very ashamed of himself. Okay, so we listened to this, and I just read this. They apologized to his mom, and as a wild guess, I'm sure this is what settled the matters. Prince Harry, your mother will be so incredibly proud of you and the man you have become. What a good king you are. This is why we love you. Okay, I just read that. Okay, let's see. Pause this. These clowns don't give a damn about a lengthy trial. LOL. Prince Harry has Murdoch running scared, comma, has no deadline. Let's see here. Murdoch News Corp offered Prince Harry settlement to resolve years-long lawsuit. That was yesterday. London, Rupert Murdoch, British publisher. Okay, so there's all of this. I think I might have read this in previous video. Comma. My goodness. And there's a better version of this here. Prince Harry's barrister, David Sherborne, hails a monumental victory as the Sun's owner issues a full apology for privacy breaches, declaring the time for accountability has arrived. Okay, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Let's listen to it, but it will be screenshots. I might be recording this again, or not recording, but go over it again tomorrow morning and next recording. But this was live and it just happened, so I thought I'd share it with you.
Being relics of a distant past, many of those behind these unlawful practices remain firmly entrenched in senior positions today, both within News UK and other media outlets across the world, wielding editorial power and perpetuating the toxic culture in which they continue to thrive. It's perhaps no surprise that all of their senior executives and editors refused to turn up to court to give evidence. The failure of each of these key individuals to come and answer questions under oath spoke volumes in itself, but their collective silence is deafening. Today's result has been achieved only through the sheer resilience of Prince Harry and Tom Watson, whose willingness to take News Group newspapers to trial has led directly to this historic admission of unlawfulness at the Sun. It has only been by taking News Group not just to the steps of court, but inside the courtroom itself, that these claimants have finally managed to extract this historic admission of guilt. As a direct result of him taking a stand, Prince Harry and his immediate family have also had to repeatedly withstand aggressive and vengeful coverage since starting his claim over 5 years ago. This has created serious concerns for the security of him and his family. The rule of law must now run its full course. Prince Harry and Tom Watson join others in calling for the police and Parliament to investigate not only the unlawful activity now finally admitted, but the perjury and cover-ups along the way. It is clear now that this has occurred throughout this process, including through sworn evidence in inquiries and court hearings, in testimony to Parliament, and until today's final collapse of News Group's defence. Today, the lies are laid bare. Today, the cover-ups are exposed, and today proves that no one stands above the law. The time for accountability has arrived. Thank you very much.
Okay, so that was a better version of what I shared before. And I was reading this. I might review this again to read some of the comments next time, tomorrow morning. Okay, I hope William feels like a piece of shit reading this admission and apology to his late mother, Diana, Princess of Wales, after he stood in front of BBC cameras and called her paranoid. This is what I was saying. This is exactly what I was saying. Okay, I read that already. There's more. I might cover this again next time. Okay, Prince Harry got that ugly tool rag Rupert Murdoch to apologize, not just to him, but to his mother. So part of this man who constantly proves that some imaginary made-up duty does not supersede his love for his loved ones. Yep, I love that one. Just a reminder that no one will have known that Prince William secretly settled with Murdoch for a messy £1 million without an apology or acknowledge of wrongdoing, and to keep quiet about it if it wasn't for Prince Harry bringing it up in court. In fact, they tried to deny it. That's right. That is right. There's that. Do you guys understand how big this is? Princess Diana finally got her apology. Ooh, every time I read this, I feel that chill. Prince Harry made sure of that. Murdoch and his puppets can call him whatever they want, what he is. A loving son, a great husband, a protective father, and a brave man. Oh my God. The bond between a mother and a son is eternal and transcends even the greatest losses. Oh. I might revisit some of these again. Let's pause this GIF. One brother took 1 million and fawning sycophantic coverage. The other fought to the very end amid global bullying, intimidation, harassment, and relentless trolling to get the justice he sought. Hats off to Prince Harry, definitely. Okay, it is worth 2 minutes of your time to read News Group newspapers' apology to Prince Harry and Tom Watson, in which, for the first time, the Murdoch organization admits unlawful activities carried out by private investigators working for the Sun. This is the first time. Okay, I read that already, and I showed that already. Let's pause this. Okay, so people are talking about it. So I'm gonna try my best to to put this out today. I'm in the middle of editing what I recorded this morning. Okay, as a direct result of him taking a stand, Prince Harry and his immediate family have also had to repeatedly withstand aggressive and vengeful coverage since starting his claim over 5 years ago. This has created a serious concern for the security of him and his family. There's all of that. 27 years after her death, Prince Harry finally get an apology for his mother, Princess Diana. Rupert Murdoch publication apologizes for the intrusion of the private life of Diana, Princess of Wales. When we call him Diana's heir, this is what we mean. That's for sure. Okay, so, oh my God, this is so heartbreaking. Just looking at that. Some of us lived through the press persecution of Princess Diana. We saw day after day how gal like Rupert Murdoch hounded and destroyed her. Prince Harry took on the might of the world's largest media baron. Today, he got some justice for Princess Diana. Oh, this is so heartbreaking watching this. Okay, so I will be revisiting some of those tweets again, so be on the lookout for it. Alright, so that is it. Oh, this is that idiot where he stood in front of the camera. This is the story of two princes. One accepted £1 million and publicly called his mother paranoid. The second chose to fight and get public apology for everything his mother been through. Diana called him Good King Harry for a reason. Kensington Royal, shame on you. My goodness. My goodness, that's Prince Max. There's so much more going on. So much more, but I need to stop. I don't have the computer tonight. I mean today. Yesterday I did, but I was so tired, went to the gym and I was knocked out. So let me get going so I could share some of these with you guys, okay? So that's it for now.